what to do now.
In the black community, I'm too white. And in the white community, I'm too black.
Well, it isn't so I wouldn't waste my breath arguing about it.
He became a national star with the role of Virgil Tibbs in The Heat of the Night. For 6 seasons, we watched Detective Tibbs solve crime in the small town of Sparta. But what we didn't know is that this Academy Award-nominated actor was battling giant demons within.
Please, don't do drugs.
From cocaine possession to 3 counts of DUI, confirmed rumors about AIDS and unconfirmed ones about homosexuality. This is the life of a great actor who tragically passed away at the age of 46.
And this is his grave right here. This is Howard Rollins, Jr.
On October 17, 1950, a young boy by the name of Howard Ellsworth Rollins, named after his father, was born in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. His mother, Ruth Rollins, tended the house, while Howard E. Rollins Sr. was a steel worker. Born and raised in Baltimore, Howard Rollins attended and graduated from Northern High School in 1968 at the age of 18. Being in love with acting, Rollins decided to go to Towson University and study theater and the performing arts. Everything was going well during his first 2 years as a college student. But not being the one to sit around and wait for opportunities, Howard Rollins started going to auditions. After auditioning for the role of Slick in Our Street, a soap opera on PBS, he got a call back telling him the role was his. So in 1970, deciding to fully focus on acting, he dropped out of college. After 4 years of minor roles, Rollins finally decided to move to the Big Apple for big opportunities. After Broadway, Rollins decided to focus on TV and movies. His first TV series was called King, where he played Andrew Young. The next show was Roots, The Next Generation, where the actor portrayed a character named George Haley. At the age of 31, Howard Rollins Jr. got the breakthrough he was looking for.
Meeting with the director, Milos Forman, who's from Czechoslovakia, and he wanted to see who I was, test me out, see what I was talking about.
A director named Milos Forman from Czechoslovakia met with Rollins for a long interview. The point was to test the actor and see if he had what it took to carry the role of Coalhouse Walker Jr. After passing that, Rollins had to go through 3 long auditions and another 2 screen tests. After all of that was done, he had to wait 5 weeks, which for Howard felt like an eternity. Wanting to know if he got the part, Rollins walked into Foreman's office and the director's receptionist said to him, "Hello, Coalhouse." This young man fell on the floor crying. All of that pent-up anticipation was finally released. Howard Rollins got the role that would change his life forever.
"Hello, Coalhouse." And I said, "What?" She said, "Hello, Coalhouse." And I just started crying. I fell on the floor. I jumped back up. I started beating her and saying, "Oh."
His performance in Ragtime earned him an Academy Award nomination as well as a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actor. For some actors, an Academy Award nomination means that they are forever done with television. But Rollins was different. He liked soap operas. So right after getting the nomination, he went on to star in Another World, where he played Ed Harding. He did such a good job portraying this character that he was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award in 1984. That same year, Howard starred in A Soldier Story. Although this film didn't earn him any prestigious award, it did launch him to star in The Heat of the Night. In 1997, when Rollins was 37 years old, he auditioned for the role of Virgil Tibbs on In the Heat of the Night. He and another young and upcoming actor were being considered for the role. He was in an audition battle with Wesley Snipes, but in the end, we know who won that one. The police procedural crime drama was inspired by the titular book by John Ball, published in 1965. In the Heat of the Night, the TV show was inspired by the 1967 movie by the same name, but only minor plot points were kept. The show revolved around the troubled life of a few families in the small town of Sparta.
What the hell are you doing in Sparta, Mississippi?
I was born here.
See the series based on the classic film.
Virgil Tibbs comes back to Sparta for his mother's funeral, but the mayor convinces Tibbs to stay and be a chief of detectives working under Bill Gillespie, played by Carroll O'Connor. He agrees, and for the next 5 seasons, the drama tackled pressing community issues like hate crimes, drug trafficking and addiction, prostitution, domestic violence, and so much more. Rollins took part in some of the vices tackled on the show, but more on that later. While on the set of In the Heat of the Night, Rollins met co-star Anne Marie Johnson, who played Althea Tibbs, Virgil's wife. The first day they met, Anne Marie recounted, "I walked up to Howard, introduced myself, we hugged, he teased me, and that was that. We were married. Our chemistry was just that, simple, organic chemistry. We really loved working together." For 5 years, these 2 actors became best friends, even though the first time they ever met was on the set of In the Heat of the Night. Eventually, the 2 actors would rely on each other during the long days of shooting to make themselves laugh and lighten the mood. Their cast members appreciated the humor, and they all became one big family. But just like the family they played on the show, this one had some dark problems. While shooting the second half of the episodes in season 3, Rollins had to take a 6-week break. During this time, he was admitted to a rehabilitation center for drug and alcohol addiction.
Don't do drugs. Never.
Even though Rollins seemed calm on the outside, he was battling demons within. To hide his absence from the show, Virgil was sent on a secret mission in New Orleans, where he was working closely with the FBI. That explained his absence from 5 of the 11 episodes in the second half of the season. When he got out, the show had finished taping. The rest of the episodes Virgil was not a part of, and he got to spend Christmas alone in New York. During this time, he contemplated suicide, and before long, he was back into rehab after Christmas 1989. Meanwhile, rumors started spreading that Rollins was given the boot by Carroll O'Connor and MGM for his problems. O'Connor hated the allegations and even said that he would sue the tabloid for spreading misinformation. Of course, we now know that this wasn't misinformation. It was factually correct, but O'Connor didn't want the media to know about the actor's hardships. According to Denise Nicholas, an actor from the show, Carroll set the standard for loyalty. In other words, he cared for all the actors as if they were his own family. Everything resumed and flowed smoothly while filming season 5 of In the Heat of the Night, but after CBS took over the show from NBC for seasons 6 and 7, Rollins' condition worsened. In 1992, Howard Rollins had 3 outstanding warrants for driving under the influence. That was bad enough, but when he pleaded guilty of possession of cocaine, that was the last straw. Howard Rollins knew that his health was deteriorating slowly, so, in a mutual agreement, he left the show. No one could contact him from January 1993 until season 7 started filming. Rollins returned for 3 more episodes, and it was announced that he and Althea were separated. Because her best friend and co-star was fired, Anne Marie Johnson left the show as well. After leaving the show, Howard tried to get his life in order, but something kept driving him back. After his arrest for possession of cocaine in Louisiana, Howard Rollins Jr. agreed to film a couple of anti-drug PSAs.
Don't do drugs. Don't use them. Don't do drugs. Don't use them. Don't do them.
The creative director said, "I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to write and direct. The budget was tight since Rollins was paying, but it was an honor to work with him." After leaving In the Heat of the Night, he appeared in only 2 more TV shows, including New York Undercover and Remember When. After that, his publicist said Rollins was diagnosed with cancerous lymphoma. Just 6 weeks later, on December 8, 1996, the 46-year-old Howard Rollins passed away at St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital Center in New York City from lymphoma.
But, Yeah, just, memories as a kid of...
In later years, his family revealed that it wasn't lymphoma that killed Rollins. He was diagnosed with AIDS. Because he was never married or had any children, many media outlets speculated that Rollins was gay, but he never came out about it because he feared a statement like that would ruin his career. His legacy lives on, and today, if you're ever in Baltimore, Howard's hometown, be sure to check out the Great Black and Wax Museum. There is a life-size statue of Rollins that was unveiled in October 2006. If you'd like to take a trip down memory lane and find out more about Black celebrities and their lives, subscribe to our channel.